So here we go, more on this bailout nonsense. Oh, and there's been so many bailouts just fly by, I can't even comment on all of them. I mean, we're literally seeing a bum rush of government action that I find hard to push back. Anyhow, this guy at the Heritage Foundation, see, oh, I was ranting on about Google just before I stopped there. I just did a quick Google search in less than 5 minutes and found this, okay? The U.S. new vehicle market in 2006, the latest numbers I could come up with, was 16 million. And out of that, GM made 4.5 million of those. Ford made 2.6 million of those. And Chrysler made 2.5 million of those. So you have a car market of 16 million. The big three made 9.5 million or 9.6 million, whatever it is. Yeah, 9.6 million. Now the car sales are going to drop next year because people can't get loans to finance their vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. So let's say it goes from 16 to 15. And let's say naturally, as the whole market declined, the U.S. automakers market share, or not their market share, but the amount they were going to do, let's say it decreased from 9.6 to 9 million. So next year's auto market, the vehicle market, whatever it would be, but let's just throw out some numbers that could be reasonable, although we don't know what the projections are. Let's say they're reduced to 15 million, and now the U.S. auto industry is accounting for 9 million. Instead of 16 and 9.6 million, let's say it drops to 15 overall, with the U.S. makers providing 9 million of that. Now we know if the automakers go bankrupt, they're not going to quit making vehicles. It's so ridiculous. Oh, we're just going to quit making vehicles. No. But just for those that just have to have that ultimate, last bit of fear tactic in their arguments, let's just say, okay, they disappear. They just quit making vehicles altogether. They shutter all the plants. They shut them down, baby. They get them down. Not one peep out of the automakers. U.S.-based automakers for next year. They just disappear. Gone. Vanished without a trace. Do you think the Americans are just going to buy the remaining 6 million vehicles out of that 15 million vehicle market? Think they're going to go from buying 15 million vehicles next year? Remember, we're compensating for a decline in sales. You think they're going to buy only 15 million vehicles next year? I'm sorry, only 6 million vehicles when they were going to buy 15 million vehicles? They're just going to do with 9 million less vehicles? No. You bumbling idiots. They're still going to buy 15 million automobiles, car, truck, van, and SUV. It's just a matter of who they're going to buy it for. Don't you see? Buy it from, don't you see? All that's going to happen is somebody else is going to provide those vehicles. And the workers that were lost in that industry, well, these guys were only making, foreign automakers, they were only employing, whatever, enough people to make 6 million vehicles. Well, now they need to make 15 million vehicles. They're just going to hire a commensurate amount of employees to ramp up their production to meet that deal. The problem is that guys want to sit around for 30 years on the best salary in America. The auto industry workers make some of the best salaries in all of America. They act like, poor little old me, I'm going to lose my job. You've been making $50 an hour, $60 an hour for the last 30 years. Down in Oklahoma City, they were making 25, 26, $28 an hour in an area of the country that has very low cost of living. So what have you guys been doing with all this salary? You've just been spending willy-nilly, just been spending, no savings with the highest salary in America? I mean, U.S. industry, auto industry employees are in the top, 20% compensated wage earners in America. Over there with your top 20% salary, you're just not saving, you're just blowing, going and blowing. And why shouldn't those jobs go to someone else? Why should the union be able to run the price of their labor up so high to where it makes it unprofitable for the U.S. companies to make a profit, to be in operation? The Ford auto manufacturers, they have uh, wages and compensation of about $47 per hour built into the cars that they make. And for the U.S. automakers, that's 70 something dollars. Why? Why should we sit there and bail these guys out? When if you look at any business, say we're making the same product, selling the same quality of cars, well, let's say uh, a tire maker. The guy over there makes a pretty good tire, I make a pretty good tire. Why should I get paid, if they can pay their tire maker, $15 and make the same tire that everybody wants to buy? Am I guaranteed a job if I insist on making $25 an hour, $28 an hour? I mean, woe is me. Too bad. So sad. I mean, if you look at that company, let's say you're going to go buy bread, and one bread company is paying their workers, $20 an hour, and then it's $4 a loaf, and another one is paying theirs, $10 an hour, and it's $2 a loaf. You're just gonna look at that other company like, come on, guys, pay them $20 an hour to make bread. Come on, get with it, man. That's silly. That's just plain out silly. And it would almost seem dumb. You paying them guys all that money to make bread? Oh, let's go buy my bread at $2. That's no problem. But yet these guys have been doing the same thing. They've been making good money. They've been making $50, $60 top salaries in America for wage earners, And we got to keep their job. Not one of their jobs can be lost. No, 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 no. We couldn't have it. So yeah, the jobs are going to be there because Americans are going to buy 15 million vehicles. Americans are going to buy the vehicles. But the jobs are probably going to be in Tennessee, in Alabama, in Texas, places that, where the union's not so highly entrenched, doesn't have so much power that it can run up the price of their compensation package to levels that are unattainable, unmanageable, untenable. That's your own fault, union workers. That's your own fault. You're greed. Everybody talks about corporate greed. What about these workers' greed? Their greed has pushed these guys to the limit. So, your own greed is kind of caving in on you here. But don't be so silly. The press here, don't be so silly. Oh, if they shut down production, what's going to happen to all those jobs? Well, the jobs are still going to be there. The cars are still going to be made. People are still going to buy the same amount of cars that they would have. Take into account that next year is going to be a reduced market. Whatever that reduced market is, it's going to be that reduced market. It's just a matter of who's going to provide the vehicles. People aren't going to buy 9 million less vehicles just out of the blue. Quit with the fear tactics. It's ridiculous.